Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Smiley. I hope you guys are having a great time at home with your families and you had a great Thanksgiving. But we're starting to enter a new season, a new holiday season, and I'm sure most of you know what it is. It's Christmas. So I wanted to start off this week by reading a fun story. This is called Pete the Cat Saves Christmas. And we read a lot of Pete the Cat stories at the beginning of the year, and he's such a fun character to read about. This is written by Eric Litwin, and it says the art is by James Dean. So some really fun pictures. You could probably draw a cat like Pete, and you could probably draw presents. That would be a neat picture to draw too, wouldn't it? So Pete the Cat Saves Christmas. I got to hear this one. Make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Pete's really going to save Christmas? We'll see. Okay, so put your listening ears on. I'll put my glasses on. And now remember, stories come with a beginning, a middle, and an end. So maybe we can even think about that as we read today. 'Twas the day before Christmas, and Santa was ill. In the cold winter wind, he had caught a bad chill. So there's poor Santa. It says cold relief, December the 24th. So it's Christmas Eve. And he's got his thermometer sticking out of his mouth. Oh no. Will Christmas be canceled? Will it come to that? Never, cried Santa. Let's call Pete the Cat. Santa asked Pete to deliver the toys to all the good girls and all the good boys. So he called, it says Pete the Cat, he called him on the phone. It says Santa's calling him. I'll do it, said Pete. And although I am small, at Christmas we give, so I'll give it my all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas we give, so give it your all. Pete jumped in his minibus and started to roll. First road trip, cried Pete. First stop, the North Pole. So here he is. He's got his minivan all loaded up, and it says Key West is that way. He's leaving the beach, and he's going to the North Pole. That sounds like the beginning. So we have the beginning of the story already. Santa is sick, and he called his friend Pete with a problem. Okay, so let's keep going to the middle. The reindeer were waiting to give Pete a tow, so he packed up the presents and told them to go. Packing up the presents into his minibus. Then the minibus flew just like in a movie. Pete the Cat cried, "This is totally groovy." I was wondering how his minibus was going to get to all those places. Looks like the reindeer are helping. I can do it, said Pete, and although I am small, at Christmas we give, so I'll give it my all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas time, we give it, we give, so give it your all. As the children were sleeping all snug in their beds, Pete and his reindeer appeared overhead. So look, there on the roof of the house. There's the chimney right there. Straight down the chimney Pete flew in a dash, then back in his minibus, quick as a flash. Each time he delivered a holiday gift, he crossed off a name written on Santa's list. So he's following his list right there. Going to each boy and girl that was a good boy or a good girl. Santa's list was so big, and Pete felt so small, but at Christmas we give, so he gave it his all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas time we give, so give it your all. Boy, that's a big list, isn't it? I don't know how Santa does it. I think he must have a little magic, right? At the very last minute, they reached the last house. Pete dashed in and out just as quiet as a mouse. It's getting pretty good. The night at the break of the new Christmas day, Pete and his reindeer were flying away. Then right at the break of the new Christmas day, Pete and his reindeer were flying away. So there, The sun's starting to rise. It's just beginning Christmas Day, and he's flying away with the reindeer in the minibus. Back at the North Pole, old Santa was waiting. The elves and the townsfolk were all celebrating. And there they are. There's Santa, and there are the elves. And it says, "Thank you, Pete." And the little guy in the little tinny cat says, "Small is cool." The little kitty down there. Santa was dressed in his red coat and hat, and he cried, "Hip, hip, hooray for our friend Pete the cat." I wonder if Santa was feeling a little better. Sorry, I'm having trouble with these pages. "I did it," said Pete, "and although I am small, in the spirit of Christmas I gave it my all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas time we all give, so give it your all." And that's the end of our story, boys and girls. Pete the Cat Saves Christmas. So that's a pretty easy one to find the beginning, the middle, and the end. So in the beginning, remember Santa called Pete and said, what did he say? He said, "I'm ill," and that was a vocabulary we had a couple weeks ago. And ill is another word for sick. So Santa was sick, and he was asking his friend Pete to help him out. And in the middle of the story, we had Pete took over, and he did Santa's job, and he was delivering all of the gifts, and he was following that long, what was it? List. Good listeners. And then at the end of the story, he went back to the North Pole, and what did they have for Pete? They had a nice celebration, didn't they? And they had a celebration for Pete. And he saved Christmas. So Pete really did save Christmas in this story. So I hope you liked a fun Pete the Cat story. Pete the Cat Saves Christmas. So draw a nice picture. Get out some paper today. Draw a nice picture. Anything from the beginning you want. It could be the beginning, it could be the middle, or it could be the end. And then write a sentence telling me about it. Okay? Have a great day, boys and girls. Merry Christmas.